The NBA offseason just started. It's already been a crazy one. Starting off with the Lakers, they finally signed JJ Redick after the rumors, after, the Lakers fumbling Dan Hurley. They finally get their coach. JJ Redick signs a 4-year deal. My immediate thoughts are he's either going to be Steve Nash or Steve Kerr. I think that JJ Redick, judging off the podcast that he has with Bron, judging off the podcast that he's always had, Old Man in the Three, I think that he's a brilliant basketball mind. I just think that him not coaching at all, I would have loved for him to go to a team like Cleveland, maybe even Detroit, Charlotte when it was open. I think a young team like that where, he could get his feet wet with little to no expectations and somewhere that he could possibly overachieve. If they are first round, maybe even a second round exit, the fans, organization think that that was a failure, going to the first year. If he gets a experienced coaching staff, I know that Rondo isn't necessarily an experienced coach, but he's an experienced floor general. I think that you add him to the staff. Jared Dudley, former Laker, he's played with some of these dudes that are on this current Laker roster. So I think that I'm gonna say that it could go very well or it's gonna be a disaster. So moving on to more news today, the Chicago Bulls trade Alex Caruso for Oklahoma City Thunder's Josh Giddey. Now I've said in multiple videos that Josh Giddey, this was gonna be his last run in the OKC uniform, and pretty much as soon as the offseason officially starts, he gets moved immediately. He had a disastrous playoff run, but I think a fresh start like Chicago might do well for him. And then looking at OKC side, I think this was a steal, especially because, again, Josh Giddey didn't play well. I feel like his value was at an all-time low, and they got extremely, extremely good value getting Alex Caruso. I know that he's on a 1-year deal or 1 year remaining on his contract, but they're looking to re-sign him. So I think that was an amazing response to what I thought was a successful playoff run for this young team, but adding a vet with championship experience and with just a player, a dog like Alex Caruso, I think that's going to do well for OKC, and that is a great first move going into the offseason. Chicago Bulls, I'm surprised that they didn't get a draft pick out of this trade. It was just a 1-for-1, specifically from OKC, just because they have a whole lot of draft picks that I'm sure that they wouldn't mind getting off of. So Alex Caruso was a highly, highly, sought after player in the free agency market or just in the trade market. And for what they got back, they might see something in Josh Giddey that we haven't seen yet. But that could be a fireable offense for sure. And the Sacramento Kings, they waste no time. They sign Malik Monk back. 4-year, I believe, $78 million deal. That was like the max that they were allowed to give him. And he earned every single dollar of that. I personally thought that he should have been the sixth man of the year. He didn't win it, even though he was leading in every category off the bench. But besides the point, I think him finding a home in Sacramento, a team that believed in him when nobody was really looking after him, after his stint in Charlotte and Los Angeles. And, he got his boy Fox there. They've been together since college, and you can see the chemistry. He's the best bench player in the NBA, in my opinion. So to get him for under $100 million, I think that was a steal. Last but not least, I want to talk about the Detroit situation. Speaking of just coaching, Monty Williams gets fired. I think that's a blessing in disguise for him because he gets his $65 million remaining on his contract. He probably gets to chill for a year, assess what's going on around the association, and I look for him to get a new coaching job in, I'd say probably in the 2025-2026 season. Detroit, again, a disastrous spot. They're looking to turn around. They just got new ownership. I'm pretty sure new ownership or new GM, new front office, replacing Troy Weaver. So yeah, I think that Monty Williams definitely dodged a bullet. But from the moment he got there, he did say he was there for the money. And I think that is always something that you got to take a step back and think about what he's really saying. Because you take a job just for the money. That was the first thing he said. So I knew it was going to be shaky from there. But hey, 70 million is 7 million. And he was the highest paid coach in the NBA. So what can you do? Final thoughts on just everything. JJ Redick being the coach. It's going to be really good or really bad. Alex Caruso trade. A++ for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'd say I'd give it a C for the Chicago Bulls. Malik Monk, A++ for the Sacramento Kings. You couldn't let him go. He was one of the best free agents in this class. And Monty Williams, A++ for you getting out of there. So that's going to do it right here. Make sure you like and subscribe. I am out.